This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let me just quickly take you through this slide again. Uh, so the client, today we are going to discuss about client-side troubleshooting. So in client-side troubleshooting, we first need to identify whether the client is healthy or unhealthy. So most of the time, the client is unhealthy because of two reasons. Okay, the first reason is if the client is itself not working properly, right? There is something wrong with the installation, or the service is not running properly, or some files are missing. The client is itself um, not working properly. The second thing is the WMI repository. The client is not able to access the WMI repository due to some reason. Let's say this one is WMI and this one is the client, right? Client. So in case if WMI repository is corrupt, then it needs to be repaired. Okay, so two two issues are there, most common issues which you have to resolve, and then that will start reporting back to the server properly. So we'll talk about this. Let me just go back to the client computer. On the client computer, you first need to make sure the service is running properly, the SMS agent host. And as you see, it is running fine. Okay, in case if it is not running, it's not gonna function properly. The second thing is you need to go to C Windows, and inside Windows you have to have three folders: CCM, CCM cache, and CCM setup. These are the three folders which must exist. Then go to CCM setup and logs, and then inside logs CCM setup.log, and you need to make sure the client is installed successfully. So let's go down to the bottom. You see CCM setup is exiting with return code 0. That means the installation was success. Then you go back to Windows and go to CCM, and inside CCM logs, then you look for another log called client ID manager startup. That shows you the registration log. Okay, so you see this client registered successfully. If you want to see how it registers, you can right click on SMS agent host and restart. It's gonna re-register with the server again. You see shut down. The service is getting shut down. Now starting up. Okay, and client is already registered. So the client is registered properly. So looks like this is now talking to the server. The second thing is location service. In location service, it shows you the management point where it is connected to. You see, it is connected to this management point, default management point, that is sccmps.lab.com, https no, forest yes, uh, and then successfully created the raw certificate. So yeah, we have a self-signed certificate, and that already uh, created the certificate. So that is showing self-signed certificate is successfully created, and it is communicating to the right management point. Location service, and then policy agent. Suppose you send some policy, right? Then you see policy download. So it is downloading the policy. So in case if it is not able to talk to the server properly and not able to get the policy, then it will say policy download failure, or there was a failure during downloading the policy or something. Okay, so for example, if I go to client, this is the client, guys, right? Now the moment I run this machine policy or user policy, that will show up there. So if I choose this user policy and run now and click OK, you see it is saying requesting user policy. Got it? Requesting user policy. and then it is saying received 0 delta policy. It did not receive anything. There was no policy pending on the server. It received 0 policy. Similarly, if I run this machine policy and run now, it is saying requesting machine policy, and then it will check and let us know whether there was any policy pending on the server or not. Just checking the policy from the server. Clear now? You guys can you guys are understanding, right, everyone?
On the right-hand side, where did the application come from that you opened?
This one,
Yes.
this is I I I have taken it from the control panel. If you go to control panel, this is the one, config manager. I right click and created a shortcut on the desktop. Here is the shortcut.
Very good. Okay. I didn't see you open it, so that's what I was asking.
Okay, yeah. So this one is the agent one. Okay, so if you run this machine policy, that will talk to the server and check if any policy is pending or not. So requesting machine policy, and it is still checking. It did not come back yet. So it is still checking with the server and will come back with, uh, let's say if any policy is there, it will give you downloading policy or something. And if there was no policy, then it will say 0 policy found or something. So that is it's the client is talking to the server properly, right? And if you go back to SCCM server and check the client status on this computer, let me just log into this console. Okay, now I'm gonna go to devices here. And you see it is green. Green means it is connected online and client one. And when was the last time the SCCM client talked to the server? So that is mentioned here, 3:15 a.m. yesterday. This time will get updated in few minutes because we recently connected back. So in few minutes this time will get updated. When was the last time it communicated? When was the last time the hardware scanning happened from the computer? When was the last time the software scanning happened, right? Then it is when was the last time the state message was received from the computer? It it is communicating to this management point. Okay, then if you go to client check details, you see all evaluation rule succeeded. Okay, so in case if there was some issue uh, in evaluation, it will give you the failure message here. Clear, guys?
Okay.
So um, you can go to the dashboard, and then in the monitoring, and inside monitoring there is a client dashboard where you can see all the clients with the healthy clients and unhealthy clients. So you go to client status and client activity. and you need to choose the collection. Suppose I would like to see the client status in all system, for example. All desktop and server clients, for example, I need to see the client status on all desktop and server clients, and click OK, and that's gonna give me the dashboard here. It's taking few minutes. It is actually updating, as you see, updating summarization information. So I have to wait for some more time. No worries. Let me, in the meantime, let me show you how to um, repair the WMI. So to uninstall, for example, there was some issue with this client. How will you uninstall? Either you uninstall from the server itself. From server there is an option. You go to asset and compliance, and suppose the client is not healthy. Uh, okay, client is not healthy on this computer, client 1. So what I do is I do this install client, and then I choose next, and then I choose always install. That means repair the client. If you have to repair the client on that computer, you choose this option. If you want to uninstall and then reinstall, then you choose this option. Clear, everyone?
Okay.
So this option, you go next, finish, and that will uninstall and reinstall the client. This is the option from the console. Now if you want to do it manually, so you can do like open the command prompt with admin, run as administrator, and choose yes. Now we need to go to a folder, that is C drive. This PC, and then C drive, and then Windows, and inside Windows CCM setup. We see Windows CCM setup, right? And CD space, and run this CCM setup.exe space /uninstall. So that's how you uninstall client manually. Understood? And there is a log file. You can see the log in this logs folder, and then CCM setup.log. That shows you the uninstallation, whether it is removing or not. So stopping service, okay, and then it will start doing the uninstallation. It's removing now. Got it, everyone?
Okay.
Now that's the uninstall. Now how do you repair WMI? Suppose both the things are corrupt. Let's say the client installation was not proper, and the WMI is also not working properly. So how will you repair WMI repository? So to repair WMI repository, you go to services.msc and choose WMI, Windows Management Instrumentation. Windows Management Instrumentation. Okay, this is the one, Windows Management Instrumentation, which is running all the time. So you cannot stop this, you need to pause this. Okay, and then the second thing what you have to do is you need to go to C drive, inside C drive, Windows, then System32, and then drivers, and then no, sorry, System32 and WebM, and inside WebM you have repository. So this is like DNA of the computer, guys. Everything is being taken from this location. The client, SCCM client, is talking to the repository here and accessing all the inventory data and everything from here. Now, if this repository is corrupt or repository not present due to some reason, so how will you repair? You come back to this repository and either you rename it or just delete it. Clear? If the service is running, then you cannot modify this, the service, the Windows management instrumentation. So you have to make sure the service is either stopped or paused. Then you need to resume this service again, and that repository folder got created again, you see, and it will start calculating and getting all the details again, and this size will get increased. You see, the size is 1664 and below is 4832. If I refresh, I'll get a new size. All good. So it is calculating everything again and putting all the data back. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So that is how you repair WMI. Now you go back to the, let me see whether the agent installation was successful or not. So if I go back to Windows and CCM setup and logs and CCM setup.log, looks like the agent installation is still happening. See, it is removing. Okay. Actually it failed. Why it failed? Because when it was doing the uninstallation, I stopped the WMI repository, WMI service. So that's the reason it is saying, CCM remove WMI namespace, delete WMI namespace, some error message. But if I go down, still doing something. Okay. Yeah, it is done now successfully. As you see, CCM setup is exiting with return code 0. Understood or not, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
So the uninstallation completed successfully. Now you see these extra folders are still present, like CCM and CCM setup. Let me just delete these two folders, CCM and CCM setup. Right click and delete them. Both of them are gone. So it is like completely deleted. Now there is one tool from Microsoft that is not necessarily needed, but in case if you need to do the clean removal, then you download that one, CCM cleaner. CCM cleaner. That's a Microsoft tool, guys. You can click on this ccmclean.exe and it is gonna download that one. So we used to do it when I was in operation. So I used to ask my team members to, if any computer has some issues, we used to run this one as well, ccmclean.exe. What it will do, it will remove everything from the registry, DLL and everything. So right click and run as administrator and say yes. So all the SCCM client related files and everything present in the registry, that will also get cleaned. Understood?
Yep.
Clear? So this is the one which you have to keep it with you all the time when you are troubleshooting the client computer. So now it is completely clean one. Now to install, you can push the agent from the console. if I go back to the console, this icon will be red now. Not yet. Okay, so probably it is gonna take few more seconds for this, a few more minutes for this icon to become cross, because it is not connected anymore, right? So now to install the client, you can manually install it. Copy the client setup from SCCM server. So I'm gonna go to SCCM server and program files, and then Microsoft Config Manager, and then client, and then paste the folder on the desktop. So now we can reinstall manually. Okay. Now to reinstall manually, I'm gonna go to this folder and copy this and put it here, cd space and enter. And we need to run this ccm setup.exe. So ccm setup.exe and enter. That's it. So it's gonna install the client. If you go back to C drive and Windows, you see ccm setup folder got copied here, and it has started. It will start downloading all the content from the distribution point. Let me just open the log file and see what is happening. So you see it is downloading something. From where? From the distribution point. From here. It started doing the installation. So in this example, I showed you the troubleshooting of the client, like uninstalling the client and reinstalling, plus the WMI repository repair. So these are the two major troubleshooting steps we follow, and most of the time it resolves the problem. I hope that's clear.
Do you find that you can do this remotely, or do you need to be at the client?
We can also do it remotely. There, I had a script which you used to do all these tasks. So there was 3 or 4 script I remember. I used to run it using psexec. You guys used psexec?
Yep.
Okay, so I used to copy those files on the computer, and using psexec, the first thing first, the uninstallation command line, okay, to uninstall the client. Then uh, after uninstalling, delete those extra folders like ccm and ccm cache and ccm setup folder, right? And then repair the WMI, stop the service, repair the delete the repository folder. So these are scripted. So using those psexec, we used to invoke that script on the target computer, and we don't have to log into the computer necessarily.
Good. Okay.
So now it is installing, and it will the client will be installed on the computer, and that will start reporting back to the server. As you see, it has the cross mark now, the client one. But when the installation completes and it reports back to the server again, this will come back as green. Now the server side troubleshooting. So we are done with the client side troubleshooting. Okay. Server side troubleshooting. first thing first, you need to check alerts. If any alerts or warning is there, you need to resolve those alerts and warning. So let me just take you to monitoring, and inside monitoring, alerts, and you see the recent alert is 0. There is no alert at the moment. Everything is all good. In case if you have alerts, those alerts will be showing up here. You need to go to active alerts, and in case if you have any active alerts, that will show up here. Yeah, alert at the moment. Everything is all good. Understood? The second thing is you need to go to site status and then site status, this one, to see if there is any um, warning status. You see the critical, the first one, that is critical. Apart from the first one, everything is all good. Okay. Now to see what is the issue with this one, you need to right click on this and show message and choose let's say error.
Hi, I wanted to share.
Sorry, saying something. So you need to get the alert. Yeah, you see why I'm getting this alert message, because of this reporting point failed to monitor. Okay, same alert, reporting point failed to monitor. Then site manager successfully installed this component. However, the SQL Server SPN name could not be validated in Active Directory. Okay, so it also gives you the solution. As you see, the possible cause and the solution: manually published SQL Server SPN in Active Directory. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So then you have to go to this component status. In component status, it will give you the status of each and every component. Let me just close this console and open again. Give me a minute, guys. I think I'll have to restart this computer. It's running very slow.
We couldn't hear you.
Not saying anything because it is still restarting. Yeah.
He's trying to get things restarted back up and running.
Okay, so I just restarted the computer. Let me just click on this server manager properties and specify server do not. So first thing first, suppose if you are working in SCCM team and you have to take care of the server. So what would you do on daily basis? What you have to do, you need to come to this primary site server and go to the services and make sure the services are running properly. So I'm gonna go to this open services. Okay, so the first thing is you check the services, and that is on the primary site server. Okay, anything related to SMS, that should be uh, apart from site backup is fine, that will run only during the scheduled time, but the SMS agent host, SMS executive, SMS notification, SMS site component manager, and VSS writer, make sure you these services are running properly. Okay, and site backup is fine. Site backup, if it is not running, that's okay, because this will run only during the scheduled time. So in case if SCCM is not working properly due to some reason, and you deployed some application, or you tried doing some installation like roles and something, and if it is not happening, you can restart this one, the component manager plus the SMS executive. These are the two major um, services in SCCM. So if you restart these two services, it will reinitiate all the pending jobs, all the pending tasks what SCCM has in the queue. Plus, you need to make sure the drive C drive has ample amount of free space, at least like 50 gigabyte or 100 gigabyte free disk space, so that it does not have any issue. Okay, that's the regular checks you have to do, the drive space and the services. Plus I'll go to Sol now. Now in the meantime, I'm gonna take you to the database server. Now on the database server, you have to make sure the services are running properly on the database server too. So I'm gonna go to services. Okay, not sure what is happening. Right click on this, start, run. So the CPU utilization is 99%. Okay, looks like it is SQL Server is taking more memory. Okay, that's okay. Now in database, you have to make sure SQL related services are running properly, like this one, the SQL Server, SQL Server Agent, SQL Server Browser, SQL Server Reporting Services, and SQL VSS Writer. These are the 5 services which has to be running in SQL Server, plus uh, you see backup and SMS executive, and this one is the agent one. So 5 plus 3, 8 services has to be running all the time. In case if something goes wrong with the SQL, you can like restart this one, right click and then restart. Got it, guys?
Yes.
Also on the database server, you have to make sure the size of free size is available, like C drive. Okay, so you see this is having ample amount of free disk space, so that's okay. 94.8 GB of free space. So you need to make sure the C drive space of uh, the computer or any drive should have free disk space. Similarly, on the secondary side, you need to, this is secondary side, guys. So I'm on the secondary side. I'm going to right click on this and choose run and services.msc. Now on the secondary side, anything related to SMS should be running like SMS executive, notification server, site component. So these are running all the time. Similarly, the C drive space, the drive has ample amount of free disk space. I hope you guys following it, right?
Yes.
Clear?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay, that's taking a lot of time to restart this service. Let's wait for a few more seconds. You guys need to make a note of these services, or the SQL related services, SCCM related services. So during troubleshooting, you can restart these services. Wow. So the service did not respond to start or control request in timely fashion. Okay. So this is still getting stopped, as you see. Fine, no worries. Uh, so I'm gonna just leave it as it is for some more time. Now let me go to SCCM server. On SCCM server, suppose if you wanna stop the site completely, let's say you deployed some applications or something, and or the SCCM is SCCM services, all the services need to be stopped, right? So what will you do? You go to command prompt and type in like cd cdc colon program files, and then Microsoft Config Manager, and then uh, cd.latest, right? Inside cd.latest, I don't remember the folder name, so let me go to program files, Microsoft Config Manager, and cd.latest. Continue. And you go to this SMS setup, yeah, and then bin and x64, and then go to this 0000409. This is the folder which you have to go. Let me just copy and cd space slash paste it here. Okay, now there is a file here that is you see preinst.exe. Preinst.exe is basically the main file which helps you to do multiple tasks. Preinst.exe space slash question mark, that's gonna give you the parameters, what all parameters you can use. You see the dump site, that means it dumps all the site control images or just on that specified route of SMS drive. Stop site, it will stop all the services. Let's say I want to stop the services of all secondary site. There is a secondary site and I want to stop that site, so I can use this stop site. Then delete site, so it is going to delete the site code. Delete job, whatever the jobs are pending on that site, we can delete all the jobs using this del job site code. So for example, my site code is the secondary site code is ss1, for example. So I need to type in like let me just preinst space, what was that, slash del job from this site code ss1. So ss1 and hit enter. So deleted 0 job that are targeted to ss1. Looks like I don't have ss1. Probably this is my site code is different. But that is how you use that command. If you want to stop the site, you type in like stop site, and let's say ss1. All the services running on ss1 will be stopped. All SCCM related services. I hope you guys understanding, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back to my database and refresh and start this. Okay, now the database service is running. If this service is running, your SCCM will not work because this is completely dependent on that service. SCCM is dependent on this service. So I'll go back to my SCCM server and console.
For the most part, it reestablishes communication by itself when the service for SQL comes back up.
Right. Right.
Do you know of any particular issues where failure of communication or failure of a server or failure of a link creates a problem in completing a service that was running previously or a transmission?
Yes, most of the time it happens, that issue.
And
But
it
if you
corrects.
wait, it corrects itself. Most of the time it corrects itself. If not, then you have to restart those services which I showed you. If that is still not happening, then restart the server. Clear?
Clear.
Okay guys, so today is bad day. The server is giving a lot of problem today. Okay, so I just logged into this hands-on lab, and I'm gonna show you the remaining server-side troubleshooting in this hands-on lab. So I showed you the important services which you have to uh, restart in case something goes wrong, or if that is still not resolved after restarting the services, then you probably need to restart the computer, and that might solve the problem. So let me just log into console. Okay, so we need to come back to this monitoring, and inside monitoring we need to go to site system status and component status. So in component status, you see these are present in SCCM, like the management point, distribution point, the services which are running on the servers. So we have to make sure nothing is critical and warning. Okay, as you see, there are few critical and warning messages. So I'm going to click on this add criteria and choose status and add, and I'm going to choose status and add. So either critical or warning and search. So these are the critical and warning status. Now the first one says MP control failed and the management point failed. So you need to right click and show messages, and either you choose error or all. And for the past 2 days, for example, what all the messages are there for the past 2 days? So nothing is there. Looks like everything is resolved automatically. As you see, MP manager verified, and management point is responding to HTTP request. This might be the old uh, issue, but that is still not uh, refreshed. So I'm gonna click on error, and let's say for the past 1 week, for example, and click OK. Nothing will come because this is an old snapshot. So you see this is uh, already resolved. So either you wait for some time so it will come as green, or you right click and choose this reset count and choose all. Reset count means refresh the error count. So after like 3 or 4 warning messages, it comes to critical. So and now you right click and refresh, and that should go away. So probably within like a few minutes it should go away. Yeah, you see that is gone. The MP control is gone. Now we have the second one called database notification. So only two are pending now, right? Understood?
Yes.
So we have to resolve each one of them step by step. So MP control is resolved because that was already resolved and we just had to refresh. So I refreshed, reset count, and that is gone. Now the second one, SMS database notification monitor, right click and choose show messages and warning message. Let's say for the past 1 day. Okay, these are the warning messages. So it is saying warning because of the the scheduled task could not run today. You see, scheduled task, the deleted passcode record is configured to run today, but it could not run. Why it did not run? Because the server was shut down. I just started the servers, right? I just logged in servers. They were not running. So that's the reason it could not complete these tasks. So that's okay. You will not get these issues because in company you will have these servers. Then right click and show this, the second one, and warning message for the past 1 day, and click OK. Nothing is there, so it will also go, it will also be gone. If I right click and reset count, that will go away. Reset all and right click and refresh. So this will go away in few minutes because I don't see any error message. So if you wait for like few minutes, right, you don't have to manually do it, it will go automatically. Any question, anyone?
No, sir. I think this, yeah, these things you have to run into them, and then that's when it will turn your life upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, any question from your end?
Nothing.
Okay, so these are the things which we do normally. This one, server side troubleshooting. Then plus, if you would like to see who has done some changes, like for auditing, you come here in state messages, state message queuing, and here you can see what all changes are done by a particular user. So suppose if you want to see what all things done by a particular user, you click on that show messages and choose the username. So the username is Contoso administrator, and the time, okay, sorry, specify, and the time. So let's say in the last so it contains only 1 year log, guys. I don't know whether I will be able to show you that one or not. Okay, let me just type in. Okay, I think I can type in the last 5 years, what all prompted specified. Okay, I cannot take 5 year, I'll have to take 1 year. So in the last 1 year, what all things, all prompted value must be specified before it's done. This is done. The time in the last, okay, so in the last 12 hours, what all things done by this guy, administrator. You see, I have reset these things. That's the reason it is showing these audit. Clear? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So if somebody deleted or deployed something and you would like to see who has done that, then you go down a little bit, and if somebody modified the collection, you can run this one, collection created, modified, or deleted. If somebody deployed some application or any deployment, you can get it from here, or package or program, you can get it from here. Clear?
Mhm.
Okay, guys. So these are few things I wanted to share with you. Now tomorrow we will do mobile device management, same time, the last session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would you see things like group policy? Can you manage those from this console?
No, you cannot.
Okay. Are there some additional add-ins that may be used?
For the group policy to integrate here,
No. For other SCCM consoles, for other
mm,
products. From my understanding, there's other add-ins that you can put into
yeah,
SCCM.
you can integrate MDT here, MDT add-in. You can also add the application, Apple application. I don't remember the exact name. If you have to integrate that Apple application add-in, you can add that one. There is one more, that is right-click tool. So using that one, you can restart computers, send policies, and multiple things you can do. Just but Microsoft in the new version of SCCM, they have integrated everything, so you don't need
Oh,
right-click tool. When you do right-click, you have this client notification restart. Previously, very limited options were there. So the third-party tool was their right-click tool, and administrators used to use that tool to integrate that one. But most of the things they have already integrated. Okay, clear?
good.
I think CCM is the latest feature which I read about yesterday. You can also send messages to the different administrator. Let me just browse. Okay, CM admin. Okay, so this one is what? This one is 1902. Okay, that feature is available in 1906. So if you want to send some message to administrator, let's say you are working on something and you want somebody to be notified, you can right click on the name of that guy and then send message. That's the new feature of SCCM in 1906.
Okay.
That message that is not available here in 1902. So clear?
Very good. Yes.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
So we'll meet again same time tomorrow, and we'll do the last session.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Bye, guys.